Hey, what's up fellow anglers? It's Lesieur again, and I'm back with another Freebie Friday. This is the last video of my trip out to the Delta when I was out there for 2.5 days. Last one. It's kind of a short one for you, but it's going to show you a cool little area where you can take some beginners and some kids, just a little rip-rap short stretch where you can go out and throw some reaction baits and have a good time with beginners or kids. Whatever you want to do, because you're not going to catch a lot of big ones, but you will catch a bunch of fish, and they're usually kind of little. But check it out. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about was I got a bunch of feedback on the last video that I put up, which was an old video on demand, the truth episodes that I've got over on Vimeo. And here's what I decided to do. I'm going to still put some of those videos, if not all of them, coming up. They're going to still go up on Vimeo, just like the previous times, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm only going to keep those videos on there for 30 days. So that's going to put a premium on the information for you guys, people that want to get those spots and those waypoints and go out there before the rest of the viewers get them who don't pay, can get those. You're going to have that information for 30 days, and then I'm going to release them on YouTube so everybody can see them. And once they go out on YouTube, you can go back there and you can download them to your phone off of Vimeo still for the download fee. And then I'm going to put them on there for like $1, and you can watch them commercial free if you don't want to watch them on YouTube. So it's up to you. So that's what I decided to do. Thanks for all the comments and the feedback. Okay, enough talking. Let's watch the video. Oh, there we go. Nah, crankbait fish. All right. Well, there's the first one on this stretch. Just cranking along in like 5 feet of water right now. And I'm just parallel on the bank. I got this thing on continuous. Just running down here, trying to put a few fish in the boat. Like I said, it's a good spot for kids. Come out here, throw some crankbaits, get a bunch of bites, have a good fun day. And there's the first one. I'll lay the waypoint from the starting point to the ending point of the stretch. And then it's a solid 1-pounder right there. It's fun to catch that one. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's a little guy. You got to make sure, even though this is a little guy, you just got to cover water. You're going to catch some little ones like this. You might catch a couple solid ones, but it's just coming out here to get a bunch of bites. Find that this wall's got the current that blows up on it. Sometimes the wind will come through here. Right now the current's blowing or going right across it. And make sure, it's a little tiny guy, that you're grinding that crankbait across those rocks. This is mixed in. It's got a couple tule patches along this stretch. There's a pipe coming up. There's some sparse grass in here too. So I'm using this medium diving Demiki DC 300 that goes like 8 to 10 feet. And I'm just grinding, like the lip on this thing is just, I'm just grinding on those rocks down there. And just covering water. I'm kind of 45, not really 45, more like 30 degrees on the bank, and then I'll throw one straight out. I'm staying in this about 6-foot range. And I'm just gonna finish, I'm gonna go down here as fast. I'm moving pretty fast, so you don't have to move this fast. I'm just trying to show you this spot. But I'm gonna move pretty fast through here and just try to get a few bites and show you what you can do on this section here, and just come out here and have a little bit of fun. A lot of times this wall right here, it's pretty windy today. At least it was earlier. It might have calmed down a little bit. This wall will block the wind from you. That from west to eastward wind comes right over the top of this thing. So I'm seeing if I can catch some more, and maybe sometimes you can catch some pretty solid ones over here. I might get surprised, but for the most part, they're usually pretty little, but you can catch a lot, so it's pretty fun. Oh my gosh, what the heck? They keep getting smaller. Look at this guy. I thought I had bumped a rock and then it wasn't swimming right. And oh my gosh, it's this super tiny bass. Look at that guy. I'm gonna take a picture. Yeah! GoPro, take photo. Oh my gosh, that's funny. There we go. Oh, that feels like a good one. There's these, I'm towards the end of this thing right here, and there's this sparse hydrilla out here. It's kind of a large flat. And I decided to throw the spinner bait because the crankbait was getting a little bit too deep. Oh, that's a little bit better. I had one come up and smack my whopper plopper because I saw I love throwing the whopper plopper in these sparse toolies. It's a 1 pounder, like 1 1/4. They start to feel big when you catch little ones. But I was just running this spinner bait on the outside edge of these weeds. I had, like I said, I had that whopper plopper come up and miss it, or whopper plopper fish come up and miss it. And I said, well, let me try the spinner bait to try to get it right on that edge and keep it in their face a little longer. I got that little nice one to come up and eat it. I'll show you the spinner bait here in a minute, which one I'm using. I kind of went through a little lull in there after I caught that really, really tiny one. I went quite a ways without getting another bite. It actually went from flat to steep, and now it flattens out again a little bit here. And you got some sparse, like I said, hydrilla over here. There's some toolie patches, and that's why I busted out the spinner bait. This is a Revenge. This is actually a 1/2 ounce deep runner. I want to be able to move fast, so I want this thing to get down quick, down in that strike zone, and so I can really burn this thing through there. It's got these willow leaves that are small, so that's how it's a deep runner. It has a lot less lift on it, and it's basically a shad pattern. I have a Demiki anchovy shad, little kicking tiny little paddle tail swim bait on the end of this thing to give it a bigger profile, a little more thump, and just cruising it along that weed edge. I'm gonna go back up here a little ways, and then I'm just gonna use the spinner bait again, fish these outside of these weed edges. I'm almost to the end. Like I said, I'm fishing pretty fast, so just to see if I can get some bites and how big these fish are. It's fun. Oh, he ate that when it hit in that same spot. I'm turning around to throw it back in there, and as soon as it hit the water, he ate it. That was awesome. Again, not a big one, but that was cool. I didn't even have to put a crank on that thing. Smacked it. There's another one right there. Woohoo! All right, that's it for this stretch. I'm gonna use this house that I just came up on with this dock here as another landmark, so that'll designate the stretch that you can come back down through and fish. Now you could go all the way to the point over here and keep going, or you can stop and then go back through again and just keep going through that same spot to try to pick up a few more fish here and there if you're going to go fast or if you're going to go slow. We'll stop real quick. Let me show you the 2 baits I caught those on. That spinner bait and that crankbait. And we'll just go over the particulars on those real quick, the setups, and then we'll wrap it up. All right. Okay, so that first bait, I've been using this a lot out here over the last day and a half, is this Demiki DC 300 in craw. Just happens to be a custom painted color by Piz Customs, but the Demiki also has this in a red color. Upgraded hooks, those are the short shank hooks by Gamakatsu. And I do have this on straight braid, Power Pro 20-pound. Water's kind of stained up out here on the river. It's about a foot of visibility, so they can't see it. And it's moving so fast. And it's on this Dobbins 705 CB, the crankbait rod. Awesome tip on it, good backbone. Awesome castability. And it's on this Revo STX, the Abu Garcia 6.4-1. So basically all I was doing was just paralleling the bank, keeping my trolling motor on continuous, and then just throwing one up about 30 degrees and then one parallel. And I just kept doing that all the way down until I got bit. And then I noticed when I got to the flat over there, couldn't really throw the crankbait. So that's something you'll have to consider when you're out here fishing, is if you're going down a bank and things change, make sure you got a couple different baits. Because if you can't throw the crankbait up there, I grabbed this, actually I threw the whopper plopper first and I got bit. Didn't get hooked up, so I said, well, these fish seem to be on the outside edge. So I quickly grabbed this Revenge ½ ounce. It's the deep runner. In the video, like I said, I like to have the smaller willow leaves if I'm covering a lot of water fast. This thing gets down, especially that I was fishing out there in 6.5 feet. So I got down to the strike zone and I could really burn this through there. There's not a whole lot of lift on those smaller willow leaves. It's just a shad pattern white. It's got a Damiki anchovy shad on there. Little paddle tail, kick bait. Any paddle tail will work. Just something to give it a little more thump and a little more of a profile. And I was just kind of throwing that up in the toolies and on that outside edge. So those were the baits. And it's just, like I said, I went through there really fast. It's a cool little area just to come out here and have some fun, get bit. You're not going to catch giants over there, but you can come out here for an afternoon and just kind of run through that stretch and catch a couple just for fun. Bring your kids out, bring a beginner out just to get them on some fish, and then you're using reaction baits, and that keeps them interested throughout the day. So again, hey, if you like the video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you already aren't. Make sure you check me out on my Facebook and Instagram. You're going to get notifications of new videos that come out weekly or monthly, depending on how quick I can get the content out. So again, I'm Aaron Lesieur. Stay focused, fish hard, and I'll see you out on the water.
Down in the dirt. Been